Well, alrighty. It's that time of the week where we read letters from the viewers, aka viewer mailbag. And we got a good one today. I read through it. It's solid.
You read through it this time?
I read through it this time. Yes, sir, I did. So expect perfection. From 40K to 75K, balancing ambition and well-being. Howdy, Fi Guys. Howdy. I've been doing some soul searching recently and felt compelled to share my thoughts with you, as I consider you someone whose perspective I value.
I value my perspective too.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Looking back on my post-college journey, I've had the opportunity to experience 3 different jobs, each making a significant step toward my career.
Thanks.
Starting out at a modest 40K, I've seen my income climb to a respectable 75K.
Nice, dude. That's almost double.
Right? On the surface, this is an upward trajectory. I should be cause for celebration. But I find myself grappling with the newfound sense of greed and obsession. Since reaching the 70K milestone, an unexpected wave of anxiety and insecurity has washed over me. It's as if the money that I've gotten has caused more problems and an insatiable appetite for financial success. Interesting. My fixation on reaching the elusive 100K mark has become an all-consuming thought, dominating my mind throughout the day. Oh my. The crux of the issue lies in my tendency to compare myself to others. I've started measuring my worth against my peers, and it's taking a toll on my mental health and well-being. While I objectively acknowledge that I'm doing well for my age, the constant comparison leads me to be excessively hard on myself. Yep. Yeah, we know a bit about that.
Yep.
This unhealthy pattern is a source of great concern for me. I realize that I'm not only jeopardizing my mental health, but also hindering my ability to appreciate the process and the progress that I've made. The rising cost of living only intensifies the feeling of stagnation, making it difficult to recognize the strides I've taken in my career. I understand the importance of setting ambitious goals, but I fear that my current mindset is detrimental. I want to be healthier and balance between aspiring for financial success and appreciating the present. It's time to break free from this cycle of comparison and self-critique. I would greatly appreciate any insight or advice you may have, especially if you've encountered similar struggles in your own journey. Your perspective means a lot to me, and I also believe that sharing experiences like this can be a powerful catalyst for personal growth. Thank you for taking the time to read my thoughts, and I look forward to hearing from you. From started small, now feeling alive, doubled my income, but why does it feel like I can thrive? Interesting.
That was a good one.
That was a solid one. That was good. Congratulations. 70K.
Yeah.
70K, that's
doubled
good.
Your income.
That's pretty solid. That's fun. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of psychology in this one, really.
A lot of psychology in this one, and a lot of ideas that we expounded upon multiple times in the podcast. And this is where money is not all about dollars and cents, right? Like,
correct.
They have doubled their income. Mm-hmm. Technically, they should be double as happy.
Technically, yeah, I guess based on this, yes.
Yeah, based on this, they should be double as happy. And if we double it together, we double as happy. But that's not the way things work, right?
No, because you go a few more doubles and he's going to be like high on life.
High on life, but he won't be.
He won't be.
It just is what it is. So first off, I appreciate your openness, writer, for sharing your thoughts, your concerns. And first off, I want to congratulate you, because most people go through life without ever having this realization that having more money does not lead to more happiness. I'm not going to be that person that says more money, more problems, because that's not really true.
No.
Like
different problems.
More money, different problems.
Yeah. Less money.
Less money. There are more problems.
Yeah.
After a certain point, I would probably say, like, once you're making like low 6 figures, like as a family, as an individual, maybe like 70,000 or so, and you can basically hit all of the things you have to do. You can pay your bills. Yeah. Be able to go out and eat, be able to feed yourself, do all those things. After that, money does not really increase happiness. If you're below that, like you can't pay your bills, then yeah, more money is going to bring extreme happiness.
Yeah, relief.
Yep, because it's going to get stress off your back. But after you've reached that level, more money is not going to increase your happiness at pace with how much money you had.
Agreed.
So to your first point of like, what do I do? First off, I've been there. Dominic, have you ever been in this situation where you're making more money and you feel like, oh, I should be happier, but I'm not?
I haven't been in this specific, where I make more money, and I've always been a fairly happy person. But I have found myself in the past to compare myself to others, especially, even like in the gym, it's like, wow, these guys are huge. They look big. And even in the finance realm, it's like, or comparing yourself to peers. Of course I've been there, I'm an adult in America. Like, who hasn't been in that specific, arena? But the realization that you are in this game and it is having like you said, a detrimental effect on his mental health and well-being is super powerful.
Yep. That's great, because first you recognize there's a problem. Now you can actually fix it. Most people never even recognize there's a problem.
Like, one of the best skills you can have or develop is just awareness of what's going on to yourself and to your surroundings. Be like if you were a gazelle in the safari and you had zero awareness of your situation and you're surrounded by lions. You're like, well, today's like a nice Friday. I can't wait to go to the lake a little bit later and drink some water with the friends. Like, no, you're about to get killed. But yeah, do you want to get to the next point?
So I think the most important thing first off is we first have to define success for you. So it sounds like right now what you're doing is you've increased your income from 40,000 to 75,000, which is already huge. But as your income increased, so did who you were looking at. So when you were saying like, I'm at 40,000, if I just made 60,000, I'd be so happy. You reach 60,000, you're like, well, that didn't increase my happiness as much as I thought. Maybe it's because I set the wrong number.
Yeah.
And I need to do 75,000.
Yeah.
Now you're at 75,000, you're like, oh, okay, it's the wrong number again because I'm not happy. So it's probably six figures. I guarantee you when you get to 100,000, you're going to have the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Because there's always somebody else you can compete against. There is always someone who is more successful than you. Until you're able to define what success means to you, you'll never be able to break free of that. That's one of the biggest things when it comes to the psychology of money, is understanding what is enough for you. For me, success is having full autonomy of my time. And there's a lot that I have sacrificed in my life in order to have that now. That means that I don't have the greatest and best things in the world. I'm not going out and blowing money constantly. Like, from someone looking at me from the outside, they probably think like he's probably middle class, probably works at like
a modest job.
Yeah, probably works at like as a manager at Costco or whatever. Like he just does something. But then you just see me like walking around the neighborhood at all hours of the day. And they're like, what does this guy do? Like, he's here all the time.
Yeah.
Like just walking his dogs.
Yep.
Because for me, I decided that I want to give up having a bunch of nice things in order to have full control of my time all the time.
Yeah.
So define what success means to you, because when you're striving to beat other people, it's going to be very, very difficult, because the moment that you beat one person, guess what? There's another person in the wings ready to go.
Yeah. Developing that skill to know yourself and to know when you have enough is so important, because a lot of people in finance, they'll never have enough.
Nope.
They'll never have enough, and they'll continue to chase it and chase it and chase it. And I feel like you get caught up in the day-to-day craziness.
Yeah. Think of our reader right now, $75,000. Like, oh man, if I could be an MLB player for 1 year and make $3 million, I'd be set for life.
I'd be set.
But the person who's making $3 million, the kid that just signed that contract, he's looking at the guy that just signed the $30 million contract. The $30 million contract guy is looking at the team owner who just made $100 million. And that $100 million is looking at the hedge fund manager who made $300 million this year. So there's always somebody else. And then they're all competing against Elon and Bezos.
Yeah, exactly.
No one's beating them. But so that's where it's very important that we not only set goals or like what is a success for us, but we also make sure that the goals are realistic. Because so many people, they set a goal of like, I need to be making $13 trillion a year. And at that point, I'll be happy. I think we did a study once, or they did a study where we talked about it once, where millennials were saying, in order for me to be happy, the average millennial needs to be making like $1.8 million a year.
Yeah, it was a crazy number.
Something insane.
So, it was like ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, but they only wanted an average of like $400,000
in their savings. Yeah, it was like really bizarre. It was really weird. Some of these studies are...
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're asking like the wrong people. They're like, looking for like...
They're looking for the crazy...
Who's going to give us the crazy answers?
Dude, if I was doing those camera style interviews, I'd do that.
Yeah, just look for like the person...
Like that guy doesn't know jack about anything.
Yeah,
give me a number.
The guy with no shirt on, the face tattoo, I'm going to ask that person.
Yeah. That's really funny.
But I think the next thing we need to do is, in order to like kind of break free of this, is we need to start practicing gratitude.
I love the transition there. Yeah. Yeah. That guy with the face tattoo. And gratitude.
Gratitude.
We must be grateful for what we have. Yes.
Yeah, but I think it's really important that we practice gratitude rather than focusing on what we don't have. If you focus on what you do have, life's going to be so much better. I've given this story before, but for my wife, this last Thanksgiving, on day 1 of November, I wrote down something that I was thankful for that she did. Day 2, something I was thankful for. Day 3, something I was thankful for. So by day 25 or whatever day Thanksgiving fell on, she had a list of like 20 some odd things that I was grateful for that she did. And that was a gift for her that I gave her for Thanksgiving. But more importantly than the gift that I gave to her, it was a gift for me. Because rather than focusing on the things that my wife did wrong or the things I wasn't happy with, I was focusing every day on what can I find that's unique about my wife that I love.
Yeah.
And I was focusing on the gratitude parts and the things that she brings. So you should do the exact same thing with your life.
I agree.
Every morning during my meditation practice, that's the thing I do. I try to be grateful for all the things that I have because there is so much that once you have it, you just kind of feel like it's always been there. Yeah. But if you think about yourself just a year ago, you have so much more than you did have that you're just kind of now just putting into your life as it just always has been this way. Yeah. And that's the idea of the hedonic treadmill, which is a fancy term for as you add more things to your life, they become habituated, that you don't care about them anymore. So you add new things. So just like a treadmill where you're running and going nowhere, it's the exact same situation you are currently in.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think gratitude is one of those things where it really puts perspective into your life. And it's one of the things I learned early on is to be grateful for what you have. And something I actually learned as a child, because we had enough. But it's like when you have like your favorite snack, we don't get it very often. It might be like once or twice a year. You get it. You're so grateful for it. You appreciate it so much. And gratitude is just the power of the gratitude, man.
It's huge.
It's so huge.
And one thing that's going to help with being more grateful is to limit your social comparison.
Agreed.
Because it's very, very difficult, especially now when we're watching people on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, and we're watching someone's perfectly curated life.
Yes.
Where they are showing you just the highlight reel. And you begin to think that like, well, this is all I see from them, so this just must be their life.
Yeah.
But just like you, just like I, there's a lot of positives, but there are also a lot of lows too. And they're not showing that on their Instagram feed. They're not showing any of that stuff. So, by limiting that comparison, it allows us to be more grateful for the things we do have. This is also a big thing for me when I travel to like different countries and stuff. I get to see how other people live. Yeah. And rather than comparing myself upwards, like we always do, I'm not saying compare yourself with someone who's below you, but when you get to see where other people are in their life and they're still happy, I just remember myself when I was in college, basically with like no money.
Yeah.
Or when I just got out of college with zero money and I was working my ass off trying to make money. And for the most part, I was really happy. But if you took me today and put me back in that situation, I'd freak the hell out because I've now become very accustomed to a different lifestyle. So that's the biggest thing I've been trying to focus on. And I would preface our listener to focus on too, is being happy with what you have now, because your income can rise and so can your lifestyle exponentially and forever.
Yeah. Yeah. Simple as that. Yeah. I think part of it, getting on to your next point, I think it's very important, not just to have limited social comparisons, but to live a balanced life.
Yep.
And really, like, he seems like he's taking care of his job. He's trying to learn how to take care of his mind and probably his body too as well. And I think that's beautiful. Yep. I think that's to be celebrated. I don't think enough people in our society are cheered on by going to the gym. There's a lot of celebrating people who aren't pushing themselves to be their best selves. And I think it's super important to really congratulations, man, for actually trying to better yourself. You listen to a financial podcast to grow your net worth, to grow your mind, grow everything. I think that's to be celebrated.
Yeah, I think it's very important that we have that balanced perspective because you are much more than what your salary is.
Yes, sir.
And so many people, again, just like back to when there's a single income family, so many people, they focus on what one person's bringing in because the other person isn't bringing any money. Yeah. And we like that as like life because it's quantifiable. I can quantify how good I'm doing compared to everyone else based off of this metric, what I'm getting on my tax return. Like I can quantify that, but being able to say, but my family loves me and I'm healthy and I get to sleep well at night.
Yeah.
And all those things, those aren't quantifiable, but those are, I would say, far more important than how much zeros are in your bank account.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. You know, there's more to life than just money.
Yep.
You know, you're, like you said, you're more than just the money that you bring in. You know, you're a person, you're an experience, you're fun, you're a brother, a sister, maybe, a father, a son, you know, you're more than just a number.
Yeah. And then to that point, I think at this point, if you really are considering it, professional guidance might be good.
100%.
You know, and that doesn't mean, I'm not trying to like do a shout out for Mons on Wealth, because, you know, financial guidance could be good for you, but maybe like a therapist, like honestly, a therapist who can help you to work with that striving for more and wanting more.
Or even a mentor.
Yep. Or even a mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could be very, very helpful. And there's a lot you can learn from mentors. You can learn what you want to do, but I think more importantly, what I've learned from mentors is what I don't want to do.
Yeah. 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 That's fair. Yeah. That's very fair.
Yeah. And then I think the next thing from the mentorship and the therapy is cultivate mindfulness. You know, for me, Buddhism and Stoicism has been like God sense of everything for me. And that really, those things are unrelated to money in so many ways, but once you kind of see how everything is connected, you can see that, oh no, it is money. It is everything. So that's been very, very helpful to me, because once we're able to like engage ourselves mindfully, we're able to see that the reason that we are finding this like level of unsatisfactory in life isn't because of other people, isn't because of marketing, isn't because of anything. It's because of ourselves. It's because of ourselves striving for more. We are the source of our greatest discontent in life. But that also means that we are the source that can break free of that if we choose to stop striving for more. I'm not saying to not strive, because you need to strive for more, but there's a point where you can say, I don't want to play this game anymore, and I'm happy with what I have.
Absolutely.
And then the final thing is connect with others. Share your story like you have with others. That way you can actually hear this perspective, because without us telling you that you're doing great, and you know, once you get to 100,000, I'm going to assume that your money mindset is not going to magically shift until you start working on yourself and being happy with who you are. Because so many people think, if I just got this new car, if I got these new pair of shoes, if I got this new whatever, I'm finally going to be happy. But when they achieve that, they realize like, oh, that didn't bring the happiness I wanted. I must have been striving for the wrong thing. I need to go get more stuff.
Yeah.
But until you're able to look at that and say, had nothing to do with the things, had all to do with me trying to fill a hole that could not be filled with more and more things, because I'm the source of my unhappiness and I need to work on that internally. So connect with others. That way you guys can have that communication, that open dialogue, and you're actually opening with people outside of comparing yourself to people on social media who are only showing you their best curated life. You get to actually talk with people who are showing you their insides, because all you know is your insides.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing more beautiful than being surrounded with good people.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about, being surrounded with bad people, toxic people, judgy people. You know, you don't know their next move. Like, I mean, like just us hanging out, Chris and Dom, it's game on. You know, we talk about the same stuff. We have similar mindsets, and just being in the presence of someone who shares the same energy is not only comforting to know that I'm not alone, but it's inspiring, you know, to know it's like, oh, he's killing it at jiu-jitsu. Now he's a teacher. He's pushing himself here. I'm going to push myself there. And, you know, we're becoming better. We're always on the hunt to be better. And it's beautiful to know that our viewers are also on that same path.
Yep.
That they're trying to get better.
And then my closing thoughts for you are just remember that your worth extends far beyond your income. And a fulfilling life encompasses a variety of different aspects. So embrace your journey with kindness, celebrate your achievements, and be patient with yourself as you navigate these phases. There's not going to be a moment that you just wake up and you're like, you've hit it.
Yeah.
Because that's never going to happen. You have to make sure that you bring this in to a practice, and that practice is going to be something that's going to be with you for the rest of your life. You're never just automatically good with money, and now you're good with money for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
It's a constant practice that you're constantly working with to get better every day.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
And with that, dear viewer, big hugs from Arizona. Congratulations again on already increasing your income. Over a few years?
Dude.
Right out of college?
Killing it.
I mean, once you get to six figures, I know you're going to hit it. So
yeah,
congratulations. You're focusing on one side of the equation. How much money can we make? Now let's start focusing on how much money do we spend.
Bingo.
This video podcast is sponsored by Mons on Wealth. The content in this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. We do not endorse specific products or services. Past performance does not guarantee future results. The opinions expressed are those of the host and guests, not the podcast sponsor.
It is crucial to consult with a qualified financial advisor or professional who can provide advice tailored to your specific needs before making any financial decisions, investments, or taking any other actions. If you are seeking specified help, you can reach out to Chris at monzonwealth.com.